Does this scene look familiar? Are you part of a dysfunctional family? I'd like to know who isn't part of a dysfunctional family, really.
Today we're answering questions about how to survive the holidays with your family, and joining us is psychiatrist and life coach, Dr. Joe Siegler. Good morning, Dr. Joe.
Hey.
Good morning, y'all.
Let's take a look at our first email from Sarah. Dr. Joe, I am divorced 3 years now and happily remarried. I just found out that I am going to see my ex-husband at a holiday meal with his new girlfriend. I dread seeing him and fear I will get angry at him in public. I don't want to humiliate myself and my kids. What can I do? What do you think?
Well, you know, I think the best way is to show that you're successful in your new phase of life. And we're going to be talking a little bit about values this morning, and this value would be one of mutual respect with your ex. You know, there's a part, if we're going to be honest, there's a part of you that wants to probably choke your ex when you first see them after a while. But we're really talking about modeling proper values for your kids and the rest of your family during a holiday meal. And so mutual respect is the way to go. And also to look at if this person was in your life at one point, it really is the proper way to go.
Plus, isn't that the best revenge, is just to be a nice, normal person?
It definitely is.
And not look like you're hurting?
It definitely is, Larry. And what you want to do is greet your ex, and you want to pay attention to your new mate and to your kids, and to show that you're really in a good place in your life.
All right.
Oh, we didn't need Dr. Joe here, Larry. Answered that one for me.
Very good, Larry. Thank you.
This one's from Buddy. Go ahead.
Dr. Joe, I noticed that my son and daughter have little appreciation of gifts they receive, no matter if the gift is in the form of money, if the gift is very expensive, or it's something they really wanted. I want them to appreciate all the gifts. What can I do?
But this is a great one because, you know, some parents think that their kids appreciate all the gifts, but then a lot of us know that kids today get so many gifts. How could they really appreciate gifts? So again, the family value of appreciation needs to be taught in some way. And so we're going to ask, how do you teach it as a parent? And I think there's a few ways. One is to discuss it with your kids, that it is a very important family value, is you don't take things for granted. You really appreciate when someone gives anything to you. And then you also ask your kids to do certain things, like thank the person who gave the gift on the phone if it's a young child. If it's an older child, have them write a thank you note. Which a lot of people do.
Do you require them to do it, or do you just suggest it?
You actually require it. You know, I think that if you just suggest it and let it go, it's not going to get done.
What about limiting the number of gifts? Should you?
I think it's too hard. I actually think if you can do it, it's a good idea. But remember, it's coming from all different people who you don't control. And I think another nice thing is setting up a ritual. I was thinking about this when I was answering this person's question. When I was a kid, if we got shoes, my mom would ask my sister and I and my brother to go to my dad and say thank you for the shoes. And we'd go, oh, do we have to do it? And she'd say, yes, you have to do it. And we'd go. And what he would say after that, he'd say, wear it in good health. And to this day, if I have a friend who gets a car, I say, use it in good health. And they look at me like I'm crazy, but it's from the ritual was taught. And so I think if each family could come up with rituals like that, it will last throughout the person's lifetime.
Great.
All right, from Denise. Dr. Joe, I have two small boys with tons of energy. They cannot sit still at holiday gatherings for very long. What can I do this holiday season to get them to behave better so I can enjoy the holiday meals more?
Adoption agency. Put them right up for adoption.
I agree, Paul. And I think take them to a park and tire them out is the first thing. You know, and you really want to, these are high energy boys, which I think is normal, and you really want to tire them out before the holiday meal. And also start talking to them about being calm, you know, and respectful, which is the next value that we're talking about again, is that it's very important for them to learn the skills of being quiet and calm at the table. But when you're dealing with little high energy kids, sometimes it's very hard. So that we want to come up with a system of rewards for good behavior and consequences for bad behavior. And for little kids, there's also something called distraction techniques, where you actually give them things like crayons and toys and drawings and give them things that occupy them, you know. And the most common consequence we all know is a timeout. And I think a useful formula is 1 minute of a timeout for every year of age.
Great. Let's do one final question here from Sally. Dr. Joy, I have 3 grown kids, and every year they fight at the holiday meal until one starts yelling at someone, then more arguing erupts. thus ruining the meal. Often at least one of the kids has an agenda to express anger at someone at the table. What can I do?
I think it's the same thing as little kids, is before discuss with your kids that you expect them to get along at the table, even if you sense that one of them is angry at another one.
But what if they're adults now? They obviously learned this behavior a long time ago. Is there any fixing it now that they're teenagers?
Well, hopefully this has been going on, Robin, since they were kids, so you're reminding them of that family value system. It's going to be hard if at age 21 you're starting to do this. This should be a reminder that it's not appropriate at the table.
Well, one thing that we had talked about earlier is that even though your kids may be grown up, the mother or father is still the head of the show and still has a responsibility to be a parent in some cases. Or is that overstating the matter?
No, I think, Larry, that's a great point. Like all organizations, the leader is responsible for the value system that elicits the behaviors. So I think once you have kids, you're a leader for life. Whether you're 80 and the kid is 60, you know, you're still going to be setting the value system at the table.
Wow, great stuff.
Thank you,
Life
Dr.
Centers, give them a call, 773-529-1200. Thanks so much, Dr. Joe.
It's great to see you. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.